Everybody, this is Ian here, and today is the first episode of my new series, FTP, U&ME. This is where we go around and we find free games that you can play either in browser, on Steam, anywhere possible that you can play for free right now. And today, as our first episode, we are going to be playing Gridland. This is a game that has been out since 2014, and it has pretty good reviews, so we're going to go ahead and start a new game here. So as you can see, this game is quite similar to Bejeweled or other games such as that, like Candy Crush for overviews who are due to this. It has a pretty decent soundtrack, which is really loud on these headphones, to be perfectly honest. And the goal is to get as far as possible. Now we're only going to be playing for about 10 minutes here, so we're going to do about as far as we can get. So, you know, match things up, see if, I keep moving the screen there, damn it. So, this is also the first time I'm trying to capture a video on my broadcaster using a browser, which is the only way you can play this game is through a browser, and there will be a link to play the game down in the description below, so you can go ahead and play using that. So, no, I did play this a little bit before I started the video, just so I could get a good idea on how to play this. And as you can see, we have a little storage shed and a building there. There are two different times. There's a night and day cycle, which you will go through as this goes through. And the goal of the day is to make as many combos as you possibly can, or at least that's what I've found to be the best strategy so far. Is just make as many combos as possible. The more you have, the better. So there we got that. And of course, night and day does affect each other, and well, I guess we'll see here in a couple minutes here. I do at least want to get one night and day cycle going. That was not a good move there, but hey, I got a lot of combos. What I like to do when it comes to making combos is playing from the bottom of the screen. You're more likely to get those combos that you need. I mean, as you can see here, you have our first building. The farther you go through, the more buildings you unlock and the better that they get. We just unlocked something. Doesn't really say. Oh well, but we'll keep going either way. And we're doing pretty darn good here. So this is nighttime. You have swords, shields, and gravestones. Is all that I've unlocked so far. So for here, you want to first get, well, first off, you want to make sure that you try and get as few monsters, as monsters to come around as possible. But you also have swords and shields that will help you with monsters that come about. So, as you can see up at the top, we have a little rat and a zombie coming to fight us. So we took care of them pretty darn quick. You know, the more monsters you summon, the more XP you get for defeating them, and that will result in a higher health total. It will upgrade your health. So this is a game. I found this game just by browsing the internet for about a good 5 minutes. I looked at a top 30 list, and this was in the bottom 10. But I played it for a little bit. And, I really liked it. I had to stop myself from continuing to play it because I played it for 2 hours for a test run, and that just was not gonna cut it for a small 10-minute video. That I would like this to be about 10 minutes of playtime, and then I will do my review. But oh, that's right, for these videos I will also do a review at the end of each video, just to say what my thoughts are about the game and all that. So hopefully we can go through this without any issues here. I mean, this can go on for a long time. On the game I was playing, when you die, you go back to the previous morning with, oh, excuse me, hiccup, with full health. And your screen randomizes instead of flipping over from the other, from night and day. You can die during the daytime if you don't use any food whatsoever. So that's just something to be wary of as you're playing through. Like I said, this is a game that you can play on your browser at any time. It's completely free. There's no purchases, and I didn't even see an ad anywhere, which is really odd for free games, to be perfectly honest. I keep trying to think of things to say here, but I've got so many. I like the soundtrack too, really. The soundtrack's kind of neat. It's unique. I It gets repetitive after a while, but it's not overly so. So, now you also saw at the beginning there was also, you can choose 3 new games, which means you can save them between your play sessions. So you can have up to 3 games running at the same time. So if your kids ever decide they want to play, well, hey, that's good. But if you got kids and you're watching this, you probably, there we go, probably should. Oh, that's right. Also at the top, you will see chests appear. Now in the chest will be one of several abilities. For example, you have a health potion and you have an instant sword and shield you can do as well. So that's just to keep in mind for whenever you're doing this. There we go, another sword. Shield. Sword. Oh, and there's a bomb. Now the bomb, if I get a really big rush of people, I'll show you what that does. But basically it explodes around your character in a large radius. So that way if you have a large group of monsters, hey, they're all dead now. I kind of want to see that before daytime comes, but I guess I can wait for a little bit longer. That one for extra sword, a little bit of extra shield going on. There we go. So this game does go on, like I said, for a while. I don't know if it has an official ending or anything, but I got these upgraded to I think like 3 or 4 places, and it's still going strong. So maybe there is no ending, which I wouldn't complain if there was. But this does seem to be a game that you can play for an extremely long time, and for me playing 2 hours without even realizing it, yes, this game is a little bit addictive. Just a little bit. I'd say this has a pretty good additivity. Alright, keep going here. Oh, there's some stone. Let's see, what do we need? We don't need any clay, that much is for certain, but we do need some stone and maybe wood. Maybe wood. We need lots of wood. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. Like I said, this game is central on combos. Yeah, wood and stone. Lots of wood and stone. Come on. No, I don't need clay, but let's see if we can go for a combo. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. The game is easier on day to play from the bottom and play on the top. And if you don't know what I mean, first 3 rows at the top for night, first 3 rows at the bottom for daytime. I try not to go outside of that area as far as making moves, unless it's, you know, moving from here to here or something, which in this case doesn't really work that well. I remember way back when watching my mother play Bejeweled on her computer, and then I don't know, it's just a silly little memory, I suppose. But here we go. Almost. Well, we don't really need much more stone now, do we? Come on. I want to get one more building to go. So, well, I think that we'll hit night before then. So, yep, definitely hit night before then. Alright. Play for the top. Shield. That's helpful. Okay, not as helpful as it could have been. Get a monster. Sword, good. Some health going. And we got sword and shield, which is good to have. Alright, how about... Those good. Come on. I mean, this game's not overly violent. You and your children could probably play it without an issue. But, you know, maybe me cursing so much in most of my videos is probably a little bit of, not the best, but, you know, like I said, this is a completely free game, which is hence the name of the series, FTP, which means free to play for anybody that doesn't know Elite Speak. Oh, I think I died there. Well, you know, I think dying is a good day to stop. I mean, we're on day 3, so not too bad. And hey, look, we got a building being built right here. So this is Gridland. This is free to play. Link in the description below. Now let's go ahead and get started on that review. Okay, so this is how the review is going to work. I have 9 different categories in 3 different sections, and of course, since I'm a bit of a narcissist, it's all named after me. Our first section is I, and we're going to start off with intelligence. Now, the design of Gridland is, I would like to say, it's pretty good. A little bit of thought went into this as far as level design and as you upgrade over time, and for a free game, it's not too bad. Next up is innovation. Now that there has been a lot of, like I said earlier in the video, there's been Candy Crush and all that. There's been RPGs, but this kind of feels like a tile sliding RPG, which I haven't seen before, and a lot of people would say that this is pretty, well, not so much innovative, but intelligent design, and I'll give it a point in innovation. Next up is interest, which I believe that this game is pretty interesting. I did sit here and I said to myself, I'm only gonna play this for an hour or two, and I ended up playing it for about 4 hours straight, and then 10 minutes on the video with you guys. Next section is A, which first one is action. This game does have action isn't so much on the action of the game itself, but how much action you put into it. For a simplistic free game, you do surprisingly have to do a lot of thinking. You have to do a lot of planning ahead of time and before time, which unfortunately I'm not that good at, hence why I died in the video. So I'll give it a point there. As far as art style, it is a simplistic art style, which, I don't know, it could go either way for me, but it does give you enough to be able to play the game. So I won't give it a point there, but otherwise, for anyone with simplistic, who believes in simplistic playthroughs, this would be a game for you. And then activity. The activity for me isn't will this game give me a headache, or it's more like, will the action on the screen be likely to cause someone a seizure? It does make sure that you are active in the game and that you are enjoying the game about as much as possible. And for this game, I'll give it a point there. And then our final section, N. Name, Gridland. It sticks out a bit. I mean, even a couple of days later, I still remember the name of Gridland, and I would go back and I would remember it. How new it is? It's about 2 years old, and it's still believed to be one of the top 30 free one of the top 30 free games of its time. So it's getting some points there. And then finally, niceties, the overall feeling of the game. Now, Gridland, like I said, it is a pretty interesting game. But the thing is, it's repetitive in its own way, but not overly so. Things do change often enough for you to not be bored, just like Bejeweled and Candy Crush. So you do find new things, and the only problem is when new things come out, you're not sure exactly what they do, and you have to do their exploring. Sometimes I enjoy a tutorial, like Minecraft, for example, but in this instance, it would have done really nice to be able to know what those bombs did, what the shields did, what the health potions did before I used them, or else I could have used them to be a little bit better. But that's about it. And finally, we have a star ranking system. Now, the ranking system can go from 1 to 5 stars, 1 star being, why did I download this game? I never want to touch this again. And 5 stars being, I would pay for this game. So I wouldn't so much pay for this game, but I would be willing to play this over and over again. And so before I give you my final ranking, I would like to ask all of you watching that that it does help me out to be able to get likes, to be able to get people viewing these videos. If you think this is a game that someone would be interested in, go ahead and send them this video. If you have a comment, go ahead and leave it down in the comment section below, and I'd be more than happy to respond to as many comments as I get. And subscribe. It does really help me out as a YouTuber for people to be able to subscribe, so it does, so that does help me out. But anyway, I digress. Finally, I will give my ranking system, and it is 4 stars. I would give this game 4 stars. Overall, it is a wonderful game. You can play it for hours on end, and I would be likely to be able to come back and play this multiple times, just because I would like to see how far I could get. But eventually there might be an end to it, and I really want to find out that end, even though I doubt that there is one. Anyway, so this is going to be the end of my review for Gridland on my first game on FTP U&ME, which is going to become a full series. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching, and have a good one.